Hello, welcome back into the North American Challengers League. I'm Magical, joined in again by Kangas and Cubby, and we are here for the halftime show in between the Cloud9 Challengers and Cincinnati Fear series. Let's talk briefly about that series because it was close until it wasn't.
It was. Cubby, I love how much we were highlighting the beginning plays from Fear, but also the fact that every time I would hype them up, I would hear in your voice this little annotation saying, yeah, but later it's going to get tougher, and that's kind of what we saw.
I think Renekton was very useless that game, given the draft that C9 had, and that was why I was concerned. There was not a lot of damage. I saw Sion, Gragas, Kled. It's kind of, and the Kaisa. Pretty sweet. I like the draft from C9. I was a big fan, actually.
But I also like to dub the submarine comp because every single champion can dive.
Where's Rek'Sai? We need Rek'Sai for submarine comps, you know?
But that's
That would be literally diving, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
that'd be more so. But that's more like Battleship.
Had Rek'Sai in the meta.
Hang on. Do you remember Twitch plus Shen? The ultimate submarine comp.
Yes. I do remember those. Those are fun
Evelyn
days.
Shen. Yeah, old Evelyn. Oh.
I was like an old Evelyn with a Sunfire cape where all you do is burn people. Yeah, those are
You should have played more
DFG.
Wild Rift, Cubby. That was actually in the meta for a little bit.
Oh,
It
geez.
was.
All right. Let's kind of get back on pace. Let's talk about what we have prepared here today. For our halftime show, I'm going to use this chalkboard, this beautiful thing that I have back here, and it's for a segment called Magical Draws. So I'm just going to draw parts from the game that we saw just happen, and you both are going to have to try to guess what I'm drawing on the chalkboard. You get that? Very complicated and complex, I know.
I don't understand, but I'll just play along.
I'm spinning my pen, waiting for you to draw.
All right.
So you can.
So I'm going to draw the first one.
Can you do anything cool with it?
I have to learn pen tricks. I will say I'm kind of a
You
freak
guys
athlete,
keep talking.
so I can stare at the
I'm
camera
gonna draw
and still
while
catch
this happens. Okay.
I don't
Not
have
bad.
a pen in front of me. I can't show off.
I even did this on LCS, you know, not to brag, but someone commented on my pen flips.
All right, there's a turret. Do
Okay.
a turret. Is this gonna be Diplex getting the solo kill on Shochi under turret?
Well.
You drew a rook, and this guy guessed that?
Yeah, you know what? Props to you, Steve. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, this is why he's bald. It's so he can make space for all that big brain he's got in there.
I was just thinking about like what's the most impactful play that happened with the turret, and I feel like it was that one.
I was going to argue first brick for the Fear bot lane, but I think the solo boa for Diplex was nice. Really like how Diplex fogged, waited for the CDs from Talia. He bluffed that he was in base or somewhere else, and then obviously capitalized on it. Really well done.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that here because
we're building up the
we're building up
collage.
So we have over here. You see here. So now I'm just gonna draw.
It's actually like a classroom day then.
Cubby,
where
did
just
you
get a
ever make
lecture.
like a collage in school or anything? Like a notebook, like a big piece of paper?
Can you tell
like
what this
a
is?
whiteboard or anything?
Well, I got to get started.
Can you tell what
for
that
in a
is?
sec.
It's a square.
It's a desert home. It's a stucco outside. Oh,
It's
now
a
it's a
pyramid.
mountain.
Oh,
Is Zaya airborne?
it's Sion.
Wait,
oh, it's
we're-
top lane. That's top lane. It's Sion clearing the wave when Tomio comes in for the gank, and Renekton dies.
There's a book.
It's a window.
Oh, how do I make this more?
We got Minecraft Steve.
And then
I love that sound effect.
and then we got this. This one
It
goes
really is
here.
the best.
This one goes here, and this guy goes this way. This
That's
goes.
a diamond brick, right? We're getting a diamond pickaxe. Oh,
That
it's
goes-
TNT. You draw a creeper.
I am lost, my friend. What
yeah,
is
I
the
don't
what
know
is the
what's
yellow
going
thing
on.
below the two people? I need
a wall.
I need
a
hints.
wall.
So they split around a wall.
This is a
Oh,
wall.
is there
Someone
a
gets
cast?
thrown into a wall, and someone gets thrown away.
So it was a
This
cast.
blows up. Yes, this blows up.
Was it the second kill on Shochi mid?
No, it was something that
Is
happened
this top lane?
It happened
Is this
mid.
the top lane?
No, it
play?
happened
No. It was Manui getting caught when he landed, right?
Yes.
It was the mid
there you
game
go.
fight.
There
Yeah,
you go.
okay.
There you
it
go.
is.
There we go.
I wasn't that sure on that one, I must say.
Okay, look, it's hard to draw with chalk really quickly.
Why
Okay?
was one of the characters holding a hammer?
an anchor? Because it was Nautilus. Because Nautilus was there too. So there you go.
I
All
thought
right.
we were playing Minecraft.
Yeah, you thought,
I
and
thought
now
we were climbing a mountain.
This one's gonna be a lot harder, to be honest, because now I have to somehow draw
collages. By the way, while Matt Magical preps the chalkboard for the next one.
You just talk.
There was a project, the dumbest project I ever had to do in school. We had to make this word collage of like all the words like we wanted to be associated like with a brand. We had to put them all like in this website, and the more you type the word, the bigger it got.
This was not like, I was thinking like school as in like little school. This was like college, right?
Yeah, this was actually like a college lecture.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, why would
it's way,
fifth graders
it was
have
terrible.
to think about brand? All right, yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just keep talking, you know, amongst yourselves. Well, the professor gets everything ready, you know.
Oh, a story I shared the other day, because I covered the World Golf Tour on Saturday, which is a golf game. They played on Oakmont.
You were going to talk about this.
The story I brought up is that 5th grade, I had a project where I made a circuit board, and you had to connect Masters winners with the years they won.
Oh, were you able to do it?
Yeah. So like you like had to like circuit it, so like they were, you know, like you had to like connect them, and like it only lit up if it was right. Yeah.
I get the idea.
5th grade.
Fun. So we're in the Baron pit
freak
right
talent,
now.
you know.
So we're highlighting the brush over the Baron pit wall. Oh, this was Zazel's flank. This was Zazel's flank during the Baron fight.
I was caught up
really
in
cool.
golf and story time. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were, and he got it right away too. It was Bush. That's
Cinzia, our producer. Can we get the score on the lower third just so everyone sees that I'm in the lead? I believe I have 2 points. Cubby has 1.
Yes, this is true. You have 2 to 1.
I need documentation of this live on broadcast so that way I can go back and clip it later.
I actually like the magical draws lower third. I feel like it's being very respectful towards our host, and that can stay.
For reasons Cubby does not want this updated.
Let's see.
No, just get back to me after like 2 more questions. I get right, you know.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, sure.
I'll keep a lot of this the same.
Okay.
So now.
So we're still at Baron.
Well, actually, I'm gonna have to move these people up just to make it easier to see.
It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's a jackal.
So we have people here.
Classic reference. Yep.
Here. And
okay, now we're in the Baron.
No, I just moved them up. They're same spot below Baron.
Okay.
It's just easier to see.
I'm gonna guess this was the fight where Manui kited it out pretty well until he got Scion queued. Given that's the last important.
No, that was
the game.
last one that I just called.
No, it wasn't. You called out the Zazel flank, and this is
the Scion Q was after the Zazel flank.
Yes, it was.
That was the same play.
It's the same
but
play,
he didn't move
there's
him.
different moments. It was different moments within the play.
How?
So yes, Cubby is right.
I actually just put myself in Mad Magical's brain and won.
That was like 3 seconds after.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
he
it was
didn't move him. It was a big point of the game.
Oh, so I should have 2. Cubby should have 1. No, wait, this is heresy down below.
No, actually, it's 2-all now.
It's 2 for both of us, but I still contest that shouldn't count.
As they say in tennis, it's 2-all.
Magical just didn't want to draw anything more on the board, so he decided to have 2 with the same drawing.
Actually, I thought that they were both important points of the same fight because it did actually look like it was going to get turned around with how Manui played until that Scion Q landed again, which then put it back in Cloud9. So that's actually why I used both moments.
It is like when you are playing out a team fight as a team, like Zazel's goal there, it was to get Manui's ult out, right? And that is worth it for Zazel, who found a really nice angle. So moving on from there, obviously, Manui's going to want that click back as he walked into Scion Q, I will say. A bit of a bummer, but he played out the rest of the fight really, really well. But it was a really good execute after that Scion Q.
Let's shout out to Tomio, who then goes over the wall and lands the double.
All right, there's one more I got for you guys.
All right.
No, Tomio La Bamba is pretty fun to watch, by the way. That was old school.
Okay.
This is the final fight, just the dive under mid.
Tell me more about it. Tell me more about it.
Diplex goes ham.
Oh, no. Fake God hits a 3-champ Scion Q into a 3-champ Scion ult knockup.
Not Scion ult knockup. It was Zazel.
It was both. It was a bouncy house.
He hit both.
It was both, but it was
like trampolines. Yeah.
Right, but I'm gonna give the point over to Kangas. There we go. Nicely done. Kangas wins this one. Woo! Congratulations. That's why I wanted more description. I didn't want just the fight underneath the turret because that's boring.
I was able to win this time.
Why?
It's cream of the crop.
Because I've had my 2 cups of coffee today. I'm not going to show the logo that's on this coffee. I think I can show the logo below.
You can show the logo below.
The old LCS logo.
You know, I can't show the logo on my coffee. Unfortunately, this is not true for me this game because it wasn't winnable. But you know, we're gonna work on that.
All right.
Wait,
Well,
Cubby, where
try and
could
be
you
more
possibly have gotten this mug from?
Honestly, so it popped up in my Snapchat memories 2 years ago, a couple days back. I did Tyler 1 stream. That was fun.
Hey, nice. Gotta love it. Gotta love the sell out there. All right.
From Tyler 1 to LCS.
I got to swear a lot during a cast. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. By the way, before I let you guys get ready for our next game and do the flex it, make sure tweet out hashtag NACL at Path to LCS as well if you want to get your tweets featured during the broadcast.
Magical, make a copy pasta right now. Draw one on the on the chalkboard.
Copy. Okay. Wait, how do I draw a copy pasta?
An improv
Write it
copy
out.
pasta.
Write it
Let's see
out.
it.
While this is going on, actually, you want to know a funny part of that story about doing Tyler 1 and his money matches, Kangas?
Yes.
Zazel was in those games.
He wasn't he?
Yeah, and Tyler 1 paid Zazel more than the redacted org that I will refuse to mention on broadcast because that org sucked and Zazel got robbed. But shout out to Tyler 1 for being a bro, and Zazel won a lot of those.
Thank you for filling the time, Cubby.
Angus is pulled. Let's make him ball.
I regret the request to make a copy pasta. I probably should have seen where that one was going.
You should have seen that one, but you know what? We should also see coming is Champion Select. So, guys, take it away. Get us into our second game of this first best of 2.
We have just such a mature level of humor on this stream and on this broadcast team.
Also, can I just say this right now? Magical, your drawing skills are trash. There we go. That's number 2. It's only my second time doing it today.
I need a secondary camera, I've decided. Maybe I'll have one. Maybe I'll have one like pointing at my old man hands, and you can see how I can't play League of Legends anymore.
That would actually be very funny to like stream your gameplay while we can see your inputs. Yeah, there's something there.
I think I would lose a lot of respect for being a color caster. It would not help me gain respect.
People would realize I've played League of Legends for 7 years and never once used the auto attack key or whatever that is. I don't even remember what it's called.
Actually, people that want to see my key bindings, I will say
everywhere.
I kind of giga-brained some key bindings. But it's also kind of scuffed. So my auto attack, or like my A click, is the 5 key. And I position my hand QWE5. So my index finger's on 5.
Yeah, I've never once A-clicked in my life. But let's catch up on the current pick and ban.
But
we'll get back to your preferred
smart.
key bindings later, Cubby.
Anyway.
Same bands from C9 Challengers. Fear also keeping it pretty standard right now. But Cloud9 are still going for the Rakan first. Fear are still opting into the Xayah, but they have adapted. That's a Gragas locked in for Fear.
And I think it's going to be the Sejuani deny now. As honestly, Tomio earned that. I think the power of having that Gragas be flexible on blue. Fear can now use this on red. So both of our teams here, maybe looking at what's been going on in the LEC playoffs as Gragas became a really powerful pick throughout the meta there. Congrats to G2 on their 3-0 as well, qualifying for MSI. That's crazy. But moving on, we'll see if Fear wants to go for that Nautilus again. That does counter Rakan. We did see it be used to a pretty decent degree by Trevor. I think it was just the rest of the map that kind of fell apart as Fear didn't have enough damage, and a support pick would hold that Gragas 3-way flex. It is so powerful.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to still go back to this. I think the Gragas alone is enough of an adaptation from Fear for the first round of picks locked in. It provides more disengage along with engage options because, of course, the cast can be used offensively or defensively depending on what you need in the moment. And it also just allows the Xayah a lot of space to operate from. So I think this is cool. Very similar, though, from what we saw in Game 1.
I would get rid of Sion, honestly. I think that Sion, it's something that was just really tough for Fear to deal with. Okay, they're going to get rid of the Kled. I mean, maybe they're looking for Renekton again. It is something that Faisal has been pretty comfortable blinding. And Gragas is one of the counters to it. But again, I think that taking away Sion's such a big meatball that's just really tough for Xayah to get through. Like, Xayah has an attack speed steroid, but it's not like you have any % health damage until, you get Kraken Slayer LDR. That takes a while to get online. So I think taking the Sion away would be pretty smart here on the side of Fear. That said, Jace being taken away, I also like. That tells me that C9 actually thinks that this Gragas might be going in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, clearly. But also, I think that Shochi could pilot the Jace as well. So Jace is very flexible in terms of the solo lanes currently.
Maybe they want Akali. Or, I mean, I've seen a lot of teams play Akali in the Jace. Okay, there's the Sion bans. Take away both the solo laners that C9 had in the last game. They paired up with the Gragas. Those are also two counters to Renekton. Gragas being a third. I mean, Fake God still has Ornn if he wants it. So, pretty curious now to see if, they feel like it is warranted to actually get rid of Renekton, or if they're just going to play something like Ornn into it later.
It seems like Fear are more willing to put Faisal on the blind pick than Shochi. So, okay, Cloud9 are not concerned about banding away the Renekton. They go for Shochi's Tristana.
They really think it's jungle Gragas. Yeah, or they're really sure it's not mid Gragas. We'll put it that way. I will say those are two matchups that are pretty good in the Sylas. We have seen Diplex play a lot of Sylas. I would like Sylas this game as, it's going to be the Wukong. So that's actually going to be put in the jungle for Perry.
Okay.
It's going to be a lane Gragas.
So they're opting for the Wukong over something like the Vi, which would be another jungler that could have locked in. This is more engaged tools. Honestly, just a bouncy house from Fear right now. Like all these champions
a little bit.
are doing the similar thing that Cloud9 was doing last time around. Ooh, okay. But we got the Sylas lock in.
Mm-hmm. Not surprised. I mean, those picks set up pretty well in the Sylas. You have a Sejuani. Just going to be a blind top now. I will say, I do like Gragas into Gnar. It's a tad bit of a handshake, but I think that if you go AP Gragas, you can actually do pretty well against Gnar. He gets locked out of a few of his abilities where you're able to combo as the Gragas. Curious now if they end up putting that Gragas tops where I expected to go for Faisal. And there is counter pick now for Shochi. Honestly, if you wanted to play Tryndamere this game, I don't think it's fantastic for Trindy, but it's not a terrible option.
So the difficulty, they're going for the Taliyah. The difficulty I was going to say about the AP Gragas is that if you're side laning against a Sylas can probably just blow you up in the late game. So it's kind of scary in that regard, but they're not putting the Shochi on something that can necessarily, I guess Taliyah can kind of side lane against a Sylas in a way. Like you're just trying to stay away from him and just kind of let the waves crash into you. So interesting option here. I would have loved the Tryndamere. I think that would have been really fun from Fear.
I'm expecting the magic damage Gragas because if you go tank, then Gnar just shreds you with his W. That's really the only way you can win the lane. So I still think it's going to be magic damage Gragas from Faisal. It's honestly Fear. I think the change they made to deny the Gragas was good, but C9 has a lot of playmaking through mid, and Taliyah can help neutralize some of that. I want to see, though, if, much like last game, Tomio did a nice job of playing through Diplex. I mean, he got a couple flashes out of Shochi, and when Shochi was missing flash, he punished it really well. So maybe if they set up around Shochi's Taliyah again, you can free up Diplex and run the map from there. Because C9 later, Kai'Sa does so much damage in the later stage of the game. So will be really tough for Fear to deal with.
As we saw in game number 1, but now it's game number 2. Fear have the opportunity to run it back. Let us know if you think they can in chat. Spam Fear if you believe in them. Spam C9C if you're having faith in the number 1 team currently in the regular season standings maintaining course. This is pretty standard stuff from Cloud9 Challengers so far. They have been dominating, whether it was Eminus in the mid lane, Diplex in the mid lane, slotting in, and also having an incredible showing so far in his first couple of games with no sign of that stopping.
I think it really speaks a lot to Diplex, like him as a player and him as a person, the fact that he has not missed a beat joining this Challengers roster. He has been destroying every mid laner he's faced so far, showing that he did indeed learn a lot from LCS, and he is indeed a good player. C9 tries to figure out what is best for them moving forward. That said, this word will be spotted by C9. Tomio going to show himself on it. I will say, no way to get that ward off the map, as Tomio does not have sweeper. So curious optimization there, as it was actually a ward kill going over to Perry on the top side. So Raptor start for each of our junglers, but Perry will be a little bit hidden with where he goes next.
See how impactful this is, tracking Tomio in the early game. I see Sejuani as having pretty solid, if there's a lane egregiously out of position, you can go for ganks here. That's 2 games in a row, by the way, that Zeyzal's gone for that aggressive play. I wonder what ability Trevor's taking first. Is he taking Q first or something else? Because, or maybe he's just throwing out the Q
I think he
early.
started the trade with Q, and then Zeyzal responded.
Because if you don't have that Q, then yeah, Rakan can do that. But if you have Q, it's really dangerous. I'm curious why Zeyzal's going for that. There's got to be a reason down here.
He's trying to win the war of attrition. Even if Zeyzal loses out on a little bit of health, they still win push, which is nice for this lane. As we do see Tomio going for the Raptors red Krugs clear, so trying to get out of the map and maybe affect bot lane as soon as possible. Just might be a reverse clear as well. But Tomio on the Sejuani this game. Oh, he's actually going to wrap around this ward and try and look mid maybe.
Yeah,
no?
Arctic Assault over the wall. And now they're walking up as Bree on Twitter. she uses the word slay so much that at this point, like, I would be, if you ever see this account tweet without using slay, probably not them. You should probably call, you know, somebody to go check on them. But we got to gank mid. Tomio is looking for it right now. Shochi locked down. Does not have to flash. Actually gets out of there just fine.
It still is priority, though, for C9 now mid and somewhat bot lane. Curious if they actually look to invade here. Is Tomio looking again? We'll find Perry. Maybe looking to get a smite out of him so they can go fight the crab. Make sure that Tomio gets the bot crab for his team.
Perry's getting kind of low. Tomio's walking up. Still has the smite available, but we also have an engage in the bot lane. Dredge line in onto Zeyzal. He's ignited. One more auto from Manui might do it, but Zeyzal does get to safety. Meanwhile, Tomio getting flashed on by Perry. Looking for the Arctic Assault. And first blood picked up. Perry showing up big.
He takes down another EGP alum. I gotta say, he got his smite off and Tomio didn't, so I think that he ended up with the Gromp too. Yeah, scoreboard says that. Really nice start for Fear as this bot side. I mean, Tomio was looking for something. He found nothing and just lost out.
Yeah, think of all the time Tomio spent down there waiting for the Gromp steal. Would have felt good if you get it, but dangerous positioning. And they lose out on both the bot lane trade and the jungle matchup. Perry is very ahead now.
And I will say Perry does have to get to his Raptors here. So if Tomio, I want Tomio to walk into the Raptors. Yeah, he has a Ruby Crystal and has mid lane priority. Okay, Diplex sees Perry, insta flashes, but still Tomio, yeah, he's gonna try the Raptors. Love that Perry's defending this again. These are high value camps when they respawn.
Tomio has the extra crystal, but Perry has a level up over him. Tomio's got to be close to level
Doesn't matter anymore. Perry does have double buffs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Perry not going to be able to pick up that smite. Doesn't want to risk it, knowing that mid is how it is. And also Zeyzal's
boy,
down
wait,
here.
Shochi sticking around for quite a while here. Has Flash trying to bait them in for as long as possible. Zeyzal will claim the kill credit. Perry, meanwhile, in a 1v3 now.
Oh, this is getting weird. Look at Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor's walking up, so C9, they're just going to try and base now. We'll see if Perry actually walks in and checks. He has a sweeper if he wants to pop it. Does get a dash out of Zeyzal. Trevor, Manui are not going to continue. And C9, they actually answer back and get Diplex ahead mid again.
Not too shabby right there. Going for a deep dive. Banking up Tomio, trying to get their jungler back into the game, but also picking up a kill. I mean, it was Zeyzal that grabs the kill credit, so not the, you know, optimal allocation of gold, but still you're denying a lot from Shochi there.
And, I mean, taking a second look, Shochi's so low. Zeyzal just drops the dubstep ignite. Lands the Q2, and that flick doesn't connect on Zeyzal, so he gets away. If Shochi's able to connect that flick, he would trade out a kill. Not going to be the case, though, as C9 walk away with the kill, even things up. And importantly, look at this lane mid. Diplex is already up in CS. That's being ahead of where you're supposed to be in this matchup. And that wave is pushing into him. He already has 6. Tomio's here. It's just going to be all about playing around mid again here for C9. Did it really well last game. We'll see if they can set up with a different comp this game.
I like to see Trevor and Manui backing up Shochi. They saw Tomio walk into the top rush, clear the ward. Then Shochi pushes. So if Tomio goes in, takes the bait, well, hey, you got Trevor and Manui there. Also good from Cloud9 to read that. I'm sure they were pinging saying, hey, their bot lane's missing. Don't gank mid. They're probably going to catch you. But it's just kind of cool to see the team backing each other up in moments like that.
They have to, because C9, they can really blow up this game through mid. And Diplex does have a couple decent ultimates to grab, but at the moment, Tomio going to show bot. Fear spots him on a ward. Perry is here to cover. We'll see if we have any fight skirmishes around the crab. Perry is up a level and up in items.
They want to go for it. Tomio's isolated as of right now. We already saw Perry win the 1v1 against him earlier. Diplex has a shove
can
mid.
fog, yeah.
Yeah, this would be dangerous to go in for it now. They lost their short little window where they could have looked for it. So Tomio will just get the scuttle. Perry completes it back, and will reset onto the map on the top side.
He's gonna try and take he's gonna try and take his top camp, so then maybe set up for Herald with Manui and Trevor and Tomio. He's spending a lot of time down here to make sure that this wave gets in A-OK. I don't think there's gonna be a play. But
especially now with flashes available on both Trevor and Manui. So Tomio has spent a decent portion of the game not just optimally clearing camps, instead just kind of waiting for potential plays to happen. He gets punished for one of them, but this will get them the dragon here, so not the worst way to spend your time. starting to stack those early.
Yeah, Tomio will have to clear some camps to get 6 for the Herald, so he's going to be a tad bit late on the play. And again, we'll see if Fear can maybe set this up with macro. As you can see, Manui and Trevor, they're basing at 8 minutes. They're going to walk mid, and should be Herald going over to the side of Fear if they're able to play this correctly. We'll see if Manui follows. Not going to be the case. He's going to go bot. But Zazel, he's going to have to leech 6 off the mid wave again. And Tomio still doesn't have 6 from the jungle camps. He needs the Raptors for it, so that should open up things for Fear.
Yeah, I don't think that Cloud9 even contests this at this point. Manui is now linking up back into the mid lane. I think Trevor or somebody was saying, hey, actually, come here just in case. We do benefit from having a level 6 Xayah with us for the fight. There's a control ward, so Cloud9 know this is happening, and Tomio has hit level 6, but they're just not on the map for this. You see Zazel and Lost on the minimap too far away, so Cloud9 will give over the Herald. Fear, yet again, pick it up 2 games in a row.
No, it's well done. As again, like given when C9 took the Dragon, it was going to be really tough for them to recover and take Herald. C9, again, I think they're okay with the Dragon. I don't think they want to fight Herald necessarily. It's not the worst Herald fight in the world, but if everyone is there, it is kind of risky, especially given where Perry's at in this game state. So respect C9 for going for the trade. I think this is something that really benefits them. Okay.
Big. Oh, explosive cask. A little too short. And snipe from Tomio. Glacial Person says, you are not going to take out my top laner. Fake God gets away from a mis-execution of abilities from Faisal, but gets away nonetheless.
I think if Faisal goes E flash into R instantly, maybe they find it. Not the case, though, as Fake God able to sneak out. And now Faisal.
Uh-oh.
He lives.
That's a lot of damage from a Sedge. Nah, he's fine.
He lives, but Tomio getting a little cheeky. If he can keep on stopping his base, it could be good. Not the case, though, Faisal. Just going to drop away for that. Well played by Tomio. Still Fear. And a quiet game again, Kangas. And I think we'd really want to see Fear hit this mid game pretty hard.
When I see things like Talia, I'm always looking at where they want to go first. I love seeing Weaver's Wall used offensively. Get around the map, try and rotate somewhere else, or use it to cut off an access point to an objective. They haven't used it for either one. Honestly, game 1 or 2. I guess game 1, they had the teleport play bot lane. That was pretty cute when they pulled that one off, but we haven't seen anything similar from Shochi. So far, literally just sitting here catching wave after wave and falling behind in CS while doing that. So my eyes are on Shochi. How do you get on the map? How do you try and help out the team?
I like the call on using a Weaver's Wall aggressively here, Kangas. I think that the option right now for Fear is actually to send it top. That's the only flash that's missing. You can catch Fake God and Mini, could be big. Really do like the Merc Treads rush here from the Gnar, though. You're going to get a lot of value from that this game. Going up against 2 magic damage solo laners plus a Nautilus, so might make things a little bit more difficult for Fear to pull off, but I think that's their move.
As we're catching up to live. Yeah, it's been a slow one. Not a lot happening in this early game from either side. And honestly, I still feel like it's favoring Cloud9 throughout the long run here as we look at the scaling options for each team. And Fear as a team, okay, wait, we'll get back to that as Tomio does look for something mid. Flash out of Shochi. Fear as a team have shown a lot of resilience against teams at the top of the standings, against the Challengers level teams in how they approach draft and how they approach unique ways to play the game. But oftentimes when it gets to very standard styles of play, I find that they don't always have the correct setup for, coming out with the win there. So I'm a little concerned as we approach a mid game where they don't have any lead, that they're not necessarily going to get into a better spot anytime soon.
Perry has hit Sunder, and okay, we'll be Herald drop bot, so points onto Manui again. I somewhat share your concern, but I think this is a big point for Fear. It's Sunder on the Wukong, and you have a Talia, so again, really do want to see if we have any plays come out from Fear. I think that, kind of as you mentioned, Kangas, it's tough against C9. They're top dogs for the reason, right? Most experienced team that we have, them and Dignitas. I think C9's been playing really, really well. One of the more disciplined teams we've had for the majority of the season here in Challengers. And we'll see if Fear can find any windows. It's not easy. C9 does not make it easy when you go up against them.
And honestly, when you put it in framing that way, it is also important to note, dead even in gold at 13 minutes into the game. most games that Cloud9 play, they're like 2,000 ahead at this point. So, I mean, I don't want to sound too negative on Fear. I'm just trying to provide the context that their work's not done yet. There's always that next step to take down a team like Cloud9.
I don't either, but I look at C9's comp, and I love the scaling, and all their lanes are up like 15, 20 CS. So I think that does say a lot. And now Fear, again, I think they're looking to push the pace now. They have started up this Dragon. Lost is not here yet.
Here we go.
Shochi moves to cut him off.
Weaver's Wall to create space.
Oh, no.
It's a barrier.
It's too early, though.
Cloud9 have to get over, but now it's gone, so...
Yeah. Faisal can't TP. Fake I can. Okay.
Diplex takes the ultimate from Nautilus. Everyone's on to Lost, though. We're trading damage onto the carry. Shochi's still alive. Lost is not.
Fear.
And now Shochi finally goes down. Fear, they got the big damage dealer. It's going to be up to Diplex here. He's positioning aggressively. Now jumps the wall. Trevor misses the dredge line.
Hey, look at Faisal.
Oh, Parry's in there. Parry wants to knock up. He doesn't have the ultimate, though. He's just trying to buy space. Azel down. Parry should trade. He's still alive. The Divine Sunder putting in work right there. But Diplex and Tomio can get out. The slow lands, and he's pulled right back in. Manui can have more than enough damage. Faisal will claim the kill credit, and Fear just beat Cloud9 at a Dragon setup fight.
I mean, it was because Faisal beat Fake God on the run down. It was just both top laners had to sprint to the fight. Faisal gets there first, and Fear was able to corral C9. As we look at the fight again, Lost goes in so early here. Parry and Fear, they turn everything they can onto the Kaisa. I love the call after Parry dodges out on the Glacial Prison. That's a fake, man. That's not the real one. And meanwhile, Parry and Manui, they clean up the real loss.
Yeah.
So he falls. Yeah, Sochi goes down to the back half, but you're trading up at this point, taking away loss if you are Fear. And then look at where Faisal's at. I pretty much, they see C9 retreating like that. They're like, Faisal, come, buddy. We win this. Fear, they commit the flash over from Manui to make sure they can DPS. Faisal lands the fadeaway cask on the Zazel, and Fear just have the numbers.
The fact that Manui had flash and ultimate after the initial engage, huge. The spacing from Manui was much better, and even in game one where we saw a good team fight from Manui, but had to blow a lot of that early, and then Lost was there to clean up. Well, hey, if Lost is separated from the team, that was a flanking Kaisa. Lost came around and had nobody in front of him. So maybe feeling a little overconfident from the bot laner of Cloud9 Challengers. Fear find themselves now with a decent gold lead. They're behind in Dragons as Cloud9 pick up the second one, but they get the Herald. So Fear, they can get even more of a gold lead with this objective.
I'm curious if they just pop it mid here. They could have popped it mid to take the outer, but I think Fear wants to use this to maybe play through his side, see if they can take bot outer plus maybe get an inner crash, as that would be the lowest one. See what the plan is for Fear. Something I do want to credit C9 for that we did see last game, Kangas. They were really good at punishing summoner spells, and especially the ultimate of Manui when it was down. Now, Manui currently has the ability to go airborne, but I want to see if now C9, they've gotten a couple summoner spells out of Manui, they can try to look to pressure this Xayah the way they were able to in the last game.
Oh, Turret falls before Herald even charges. Do they stick around to walk it into the next one? It would put them into a really precarious position, and you're just highlighting Manui doesn't have flash. So, all right, Herald not actually accomplishing much, but, you know.
It was a placebo, Shelly.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. Moral support, Herald.
They got the gold from it.
They did.
In fact,
they did.
If a cannon minion, if like my nickname for it is a caddy, you know, the caddy, what would a placebo Herald be?
I don't know. Also a caddy, maybe. Barry,
hold
trouble
on.
here. Tomio catching him out. Lost jumps in. Zazel's around with the quickness, but has not landed anything yet. So that was Cloud9 Challengers hoping to find a big pick onto Parry in the jungle. Good on him to survive. And Cloud9 are down a couple ultimates now.
Nice ult from Trevor. I think that the fact that he had the depth charge into the glacial paths actually might have saved Parry there, who was in trouble. But moving forward, Fear.
Back to the caddy thing. You know, what would we call it?
The placebo Shelly?
Yeah. Is there anything like League of Legends related that we could do? That's like
no, it needs to be like psychological in nature. Yeah. This is my idea / thought.
There's something there. My brain's working too slow to find it. Maybe Twitch chat will find it for us, or Twitter. If you find it, tweet #NACL. Maybe @PathLCS.
What are we calling a placebo Shelly?
Yes. It didn't accomplish anything, but it was present when the turret went down. We'll get our people on it. Now bringing us back
It
into
didn't
the game.
accomplish anything, but it was present.
It was exactly, yeah.
Is that like Faisal's Renekton in the last game?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
sorry.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. You can make the joke because now he's 2-0-0.
Yeah. Yeah, Greg's doing good,
Much
man.
better game, too.
Wow.
Oh, the observers are even highlighted him now, too. So, look at that. Wait a
Wonder
minute.
how they would fare in LCS. Oh, wait, hashtag a sodium chloride.
Wait a minute. No, Bree. They didn't put Slay in the tweet. I literally just said that we need a check on them
Would
now.
they slay an LCS or not?
Would they slay an LCS?
I'm gonna go. They would slay at least Dignitas.
Oh. For a second, I was like, wait, Dignitas are good, but no, that's an NXT.
I mean, we saw Diplex slay in LCS. That man was 7-2.
True.
He's trying to move to 6-0 here.
We always have a team like that. Back when it was Academy last year, now that it's
TOA.
Challengers League, we always have like one team where like, where would they slot in LCS?
Yeah, TOA for me would have been like 6th or 7th in LCS last year for sure.
Yeah, they were very good.
Yeah, they were.
Although members
I
of
wish
that
Armeo
team
was playing, man.
are currently 9th, so that's kind of rough.
I will say Armeo gets to coach Telmio every day, and that has to be one of the most entertaining experiences of your life. I'm very biased towards Telmio. As
Honestly, we should just pay them to make content for us, you know? Like, why are we even here?
Where
just like get Tomio and Armeo in here.
Where's Telmio's stream? I need that injected in my veins yet again in my life.
Has he not been streaming?
It's it's middle of the split. It's been tough. That man has some of the best streams on Twitch though, especially when all the junglers in LCS go in there to like talk trash.
Very quality stuff. I want to catch us up to the current game state, though.
Yeah, but we do have Dragon.
Jungler streaming conversations. Dragon's setting up, and we saw Cloud9 looking for Faisal bot lane. He teleported into the wave. Shochi teleported mid. So Fear are committing everything to this play. Cloud9, they just walked here. Okay, now Diplex is teleporting. But they will need to approach from the bottom lane.
I still think looking at the items, it's a winning fight for Fear, given that and the champions. We don't have Radiant Virtue yet completed onto Telmio. I think that's pretty big. And C9 has to play through bot, which is doable. But a lot of eyes on Diplex. He's the most fed.
Look at Fake God. He's got a big flank here, and he will be able to hit Mega for this. So Fear need to be very respectful of where Fake God is.
They should look to pop. I want to see like Manui positioned to actually Q Fake God. He's going to go to mid wave here, and Fear's going to have to cede some ground. So C9 actually has a pretty decent setup around mid. But I would love to see if Fear actually played the pop Mega early.
I like that Faisal's marking Diplex. Actually, they're just marking each other. I don't even know who's the aggressor here. It seems like Diplex. Oh, maybe engaged from Perry now. Looked for it. But Diplex is back over the wall, and now Faisal doesn't have the position anymore. He's trying to get back in there. Oh, nice. Diplex was trying to catch him on the rotation. Faisal knew if I give up that choke point, that's a big flank angle for Diplex.
Well, they hold it, but also they do pop the Mega, so I think this is the way where Fear is going to try and hit it, knowing that Fake God's back in mini. That's well played again. Manui was able to find it as Fake God had to pick up the wave. So Fake God, he can't build up that Mega Bar. He's locked out at the moment. C9 has to fight at a disadvantage.
And now Diplex doesn't have the Gragas ultimate anymore.
Oh, he's got a sick angle, though.
Flank, though. Fear, they've lost track of Diplex. Now they see him. They see Fake God, but it's just a mini Gnar. Not that intimidating. They get the Dragon. Now they engage onto Tomio. Flashes away. Arctic Assault away. Now the engage from Zazul. Maybe just trying to buy some space, make some chaos. But everybody from Fear, they're clumped up. They say we are not going to separate and allow them to pick us off one by one. Fear together, strong. Diplex takes away the Wukong ultimate just to get himself away. So, end of the day, just a really scrappy setup fight for the Dragon, and Fear get it.
Dave, deny soul point. Again, Fear, this is a provisional team. This is a team that has so much less experience than C9, but they're playing out these positions of the game rather poised. The fact they waited to pop Mega Gnar and then hit the Dragon from there, that's a point of the game where we've seen a lot of our Challengers teams, quite frankly, crap their pants. And Fear handled that really well.
Hey, Fear are a cut above the rest. We've seen that. Yeah. Wildcard and Fear. I mean, we can throw both of those provisional names into this conversation of, you know, not necessarily panicking under the pressure that you feel in these stage games. Like, these are oftentimes the biggest stage that these players have played on before in front of a lot more viewers than a lot of their other league streams would usually get. So
it's something that like some of the players have struggled with before too. I mean, I know that Perry cited like himself and some of his coaches that, you know, he was playing a lot better in scrims than he is on stage. The fact that he's been able to bring some of those performances to stage this year, and that's kind of growth we're looking for out of our players as well as gameplay, right? This is your time to kind of get those jitters out before, you know, you try and play on that biggest stage in LCS. So overall, a lot of positive things still for Fear. I think they handle that really nicely. I still favor where C9's at in the game state and their team moving forward, but Fear denying that soul point, that was a step in the right direction. I think they need to make the game a little bit quicker, though, around this Baron.
I'd love to see them continue.
They have to find some angles here.
They have a little bit of a gold lead. Work with it. Utilize that right now. Interesting to note Faisal's build as well. He's probably, like, arguably the most powerful he'll be, the most impactful he'll be. He's got the Rod of Ages plus the Seraphs completed, so fully stacked, ready to go. Get this AP Gragas on the map.
Just wait till he's level 16. That's, you know, Gragas scales really nicely. You get goody. You feel good putting points in all 5 abilities, so I'm a big Gragas fan and believer. And
not
Faisal,
the Night Harvester build does. It's not like the one-shot Gragas.
No, but this is what we're seeing mostly out of Wayne, because Rod gives you some more options later.
True, yeah. The mana sustain's really nice.
Also, the ability haste, really nice on Gragas, because you can go for items now that don't involve ability haste and still pick it up. That's Diplex. Okay.
Okay. Wait, what just happened?
I believe Perry fogged the depth charge.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, Tomio trading ults with Minui now, who's all alone in the mid lane.
That's a trade up.
Featherstorm for Glacial Prison. Not too bad.
That's a trade up for sure. Again, pretty quiet game at the moment as Gragas is able to answer Naruke on the side lane. And, I mean, we could talk about Caddy minions again. But I think we're going to move forward.
I'm assuming nobody's tweeted at us yet.
Yeah, I don't think we have any.
I think it's going to be on us.
I don't think we want to have anyone, you know, tweeting out anything too crazy here. Unless we have some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think, this game's been pretty slow. This is like
hitting a fourth shot. Nah.
Trevor
and Perry
This is not
hunted
good.
by Cloud9 Challengers right now in the river, and Trevor punished for it heavily. But hey, loss is pretty low. Has to flash away. Perry low as well, but look at Minui. The position, the damage. He's outputting a lot as Shochi's buying him space. And Fear are doing it. Actually pushing back Cloud9 Challengers after they got picked off in the river. Trading up support for mid laner. What more can Fear look for here? Tomio throws out the Glacial Prison. It's back up. Fake God's looking for the Mega Gnar. He was mini the entire time, but they're not going to find more.
It was a really tough start for Fear, but that cask from Faisal split and turned the fight in their favor.
Huge stuff. Huge stuff when you're the ones almost getting picked off. Those are the kinds of moments where Cloud9, if they get that pick for free, the game's probably going to fall away from your hands very quickly. But the fact that Fear hold out and turn it around in favor of their own, big stuff.
I got to say, though, thank God, he's been farming his butt off this game. And if you look at the flashes available for Fear, there's only one available, and it's on Nautilus. Fake God has flash up. I think that with all the sums down for this next fight, this is going to be where things get bloody. People are going to fall. Minui, importantly, still has that ultimate available for himself. But if C9 wants to fight this at all... Oh, hold on. They're on the Baron.
Ooh, Cloud9 Challengers.
Wait, no, they're on Baron.
Replay.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
they're doing Baron right now.
Okay, we got picture-in-picture. Cool. So Baron is started by Cloud9. While we see the replay here, Trevor almost picked off, or rather is picked off, but Perry survives for so long. He gets so much CC off.
Watch the cast from Faisal, though. Like, he finds a triple barrel and then casks back, too, in the Shochi. And he's able to actually live through this with the help of his team, as it's a nice flash. The flash forward from Minui was necessary there, too, I think, to get away from Fake God, and also that W from the Kaisa. So really well played by Fear. That said, we just had some craziness happen on the Rift. We gotta go back to live. Baron was taken by C9, and we still have the Dragon being worked on by Fear. So it is picked up, but C9, they did secure the Baron, and they're going to pick up a lot of gold from this Baron with the standing turrets that are still up for them.
Fear also got the outer mid turret, as well as the tier 2 mid turret, but it's traded on the top side. Diplex on a solo mission, just shoving this in.
C9, just the barrel towards the Baron really caught Fear off guard, as they felt like they still had to play towards this Dragon. Deny that soul point. It is 2 Hextech souls, but C9, and look at all the turrets that are up, right? They just took down top inner, but they still have mid outer to work through. They have bot outer that Dipbox is about to pick up on his own. There's going to be so much gold for C9 from this Baron, just the fact they have so many structures to still take down on the map.
And not the best wave clear from the side of Fear to actually deal with that. A lot of AP damage to the Baron buff on the minions will make it really difficult for something like a Gragas to actually push that through. Already just backing off, says, yeah, I'm just going to let Diplex walk that one in. There's not much I can do to stop this. That was a full charged cask right there. Did 195 to each minion. That was like a fifth of their health bar.
Yeah, I think that they should have Shochi bot right now. Faisal's safe on his own, but they need the Talia to answer the wave clear. As Shochi really is the only one that can spam the wave enough to cut through these creeps. Him and Manui, as Manui has held mid, but C9, and they're checking all the boxes they need to. As when we before the Baron, we saw was about a 1.5k gold lead for Fear. And that's been flipped on its head now in favor of C9, as that Baron came up big, able to get the gold for themselves and take down a lot of structures.
I cannot overemphasize how hard it is to beat Cloud9 Challengers. If you slip up even once, they will do something like this and get right back in the game.
I think a lot of the leadership on this team, again, with Zeyzal teams, he is so vocal, like taking up what I would deem to be like over 70% of comms in a lot of his games. But hey, sometimes I can give your team some great direction. That was definitely one of those moments where C9, they knew out of base, hey, we're dropping this dragon. They're going to be there. We're going to try and go for the Baron. It's either that or bust. And that ended up coming up big and giving C9 a lot to work with now in this game. As again, we've said it before, we still really like their scaling. Kais is a problem in the later stages of the game.
And as they try and utilize the Baron buff, I want to go back to that Zeyzal point, because people often forget, in his rookie year, Zeyzal made it to World Semifinals. Like, that is absurd.
Yeah, and I also think that people like don't realize how good Zeyzal's been, even like during his breaks. Not playing competitively, but he's been coaching. He's had an account.
I want to focus on this right now. There's an engage under the turret, though. Diplex focused by Fear.
Oh, we got a splash.
Absorbs a lot of the cooldowns. Tomio never committed over the wall. Okay, Cloud9 Challengers, they don't fully commit to the dive.
Respect Manui for holding on to everything there, honestly. Just knowing that he was okay under the turret. Getting back to Zeyzal, though. Like, while Zeyzal has been playing, this guy's had multiple accounts, like top 50. I mean, he's been coaching. He's been playing in money matches, like with T1 and winning. He was playing in amateur in 21. It was the best player that we had there. So, like, even with all the breaks...
the best beard ever to be grown in LCS?
Yeah. So, like, even throughout all the breaks that we've seen from Zeyzal playing on the biggest stage, I think he's been a great player whenever he's competed at whatever level he's been at. And definitely one where... I mean, I've always been a really big fan of Zeyzal. I thought he had a great head on his shoulders and was a really cool leader for C9. Great to see him doing that now with the Challenger squad. I'm curious what he has in store for himself moving forward. I think he's still playing at a very high level.
Often when Cloud9 Challengers have these late game plays, we just kind of assume it was Zeyzal. Then we'll talk to the players and be like, yeah, it was Zeyzal. And we're like, yeah, makes sense. So pressure's on. They are ahead. Cloud9 Challengers have not won this game yet, and Fear have managed to get a couple of dragons for themselves. If you're a fan of the comeback stories of players like Fake God, like Zeyzal, like Lost, getting back into the LCS and showing that, hey, it's not a linear path, you're rooting for Cloud9 Challengers here. You're rooting for the #1 team. But if you're a fan of that scrappy, get your friends together, get the high elo team together, build your own squad, get your own support structure, and compete with the top of the developmental league, you're rooting for Fear, and the game is so close, it could go either way.
And the fact that Fear is given 2 legitimate runs for their money here. Oh boy, Tomio?
Tomio's going very far in. He does not have a lot of backup behind him. Zeyzal wants it. Gets in there. Lost. Knocked up. Everyone's focusing on Lost. He's got the stopwatch. It's Diplex now doing the damage. Fake God can go mega. Big engage from Fake God, but Lost just isn't there. They got Manui though. Diplex did it. Diplex might have just kept Cloud9 in this game with less DPS options, but he trades his own life for it. Lost and Fake God now in full retreat. Zeyzal as well. Fear traded up in kills on the overall play. Right in time for this dragon.
I mean, that was way too forward from Tomio, as he didn't have any teammates around him, but he dashed forward, threw out the Glacial Prison, and found the gray screen of his own for it as Fear took him down. It was a nice trade on Manui in the back half. Importantly enough, though, Lost did burn Flash. He had to flash out of the rip from Manui. It was well played from Lost, but that is something that now Fear can punish moving forward. And after the first 2 dragons went to C9, that's sole point now for Fear.
Yeah, it's rough. After game 1, Tomio had such an impressive performance, and now game 2, from the early invade, level 3 onto parry, where then he dies, to now this, but he can turn it around here. A pick onto Shochi would be big. Shochi stuck around for way too long. Instant flash from Tomio, but they don't have the damage, actually, to follow up.
He didn't use the ult. Wow.
Did not have ult, did not have flash, could not actually follow up, so Shochi just gets out for free.
Held on to the flash, too. Now, might be able to make a play for Baron. Actually, we see a TP coming in from Fake God. Shochi doesn't have TP. He's hitting the Wolves, but Shochi's got a base, man. They're going to start up this Baron now.
Got to get back. This is where some of the provisional teams, the inexperience is showing. Shochi's now going to be approaching this fight with very low mana, very low health. As Faisal losing the 1v1 against Diplex up here.
Lost here.
Parry's right there, though. Lost. That was kind of crazy, man. I don't know. You take a lot of damage. Maybe they trade on to Parry. They got him. Oh, it's a 1-for-1 trade, and Parry's still alive. Without Lost, I don't know if Cloud9 can do this. They didn't even need Shochi. Fear are just winning the fight.
And Parry, man, he goes in on his own, takes it all out. As okay, that's a wall. They can all get over that wall.
Okay.
But maybe you can't start Baron. You no way.
This would be ambitious, to say the least. Diplex is
Diplex
full
has
mana.
hijack again. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think they're going to do it. I think we found another thing to call the Herald that accomplished nothing. It's a Shochi Weaver's Wall.
Okay. Well, okay. That's just mean.
Yeah.
That's
right
sad.
there.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wait.
This
hang on. Actually, really rough.
They might have overstayed. Diplex could move to cut him off. He has hijack. If he gets Grog Assault, it could be dangerous.
I want to see some clean resets here from both of the teams at this point. Both of them think we have the advantage. We can push for this. We can stick around and punish them.
Lost can, off this mid-wave, can maybe just walk straight to Baron. They could do it again. It's a really good setup from C9. They actually did TP in. And I got to say, it's been a close game. Fear has played C9 so well in this game. They've showed they are not just a provisional team, but can they actually find a win as C9 starts to talk? Yeah.
Parry's here.
Watch Parry. They don't know how low it is.
Explosive Cask is used. Zazel jumps in onto Parry. Okay, Baron is secured. Trevor onto the back line. He took the Hex Gate, and now it's Fake God focused down. Parry almost dies to Diplex. I don't think they have the damage to Fake God because everybody peeled off towards Parry. Okay, they got one. But that is Baron secured from Cloud9 Challengers, and they got 4 members out of there.
That's a good trade. C9 will take that every single time as Fear late to the play again. They overstayed on the top side, and C9... You cannot make mistakes, as you called out against the Steam Kangas. They will punish, and it's just that one small slip up from Fear that gets C9 the Baron.
Oh, they know the tempo is theirs. They had the Baron backs and the Hex Gates. They get onto the map so quick. So Fear now say, wait a minute, they're in our jungle. We're trying to get our camps here. Zazel's walking up. Diplex is winning the trades on the Parry, but no one else could come in. I like the look from Cloud9 there, trying to get something else.
I mean, Diplex will trade all for all any day now. He's level 18. He has that hijack up. It's already halfway off cooldown. He's fine. And again, this is, I think, why we were a little bit concerned for Fear in the later stages of the game, just given what Silas can do past level 16, and then the damage that Lost is going to pack on this Kaisa. So far, it's been all right for the side of Fear, as Lost, I think, has overplayed his hand in a couple of fights. But he's going to have that flashback up for this next one, and that's where things are going to get really scary here for Fear Kangas.
Minute 15 seconds for the Dragon. You know that Fear wants it. Although, I will say, if they have a bad setup, they have a little bit of wiggle room. They could give this over and not throw the game for the Dragon Soul. They could say, all right, we have room to give Cloud9 one of them. Maybe it gives them a better setup somewhere else, but theoretically they'll want this.
I don't know how much better things get, though. I know Baron's up on C9, but I really don't know how much better things get for Fear. So if they find a setup that's good enough for them, I think you have to send it. But at the moment, because of the Baron wave, C9 have been able to get control over the bot side, and it will be an uphill battle for Fear.
If observers can show the vision from red perspective, look at all the blue wards. They have no wards.
There's a big flank ward in that bot try that Fear could play off of.
True.
That's it. And Tomio's wrapping around. Oh my.
Deep flank here. Doesn't drop a ward down and fails the Arctic Assault, but gets flash out of Shochi regardless, throwing out the Glacial Prison. So flash out from Shochi. That's an engage tool down for Cloud9.
Yeah, Lost just has to, he just gets the Baron up. These creeps, Manui eats some more poke, and C9. Wow, this point Shochi's dead.
Oh, the engage snap from Zazel, and without flash out, she's down. Lands a flag. Teleport completes as Faisal maybe realizes, I didn't want that to complete. Does Manui find himself in trouble?
Manui has
I think Lost landed it. Yeah, Lost goes in onto Manui. I don't know what's going on in the picture-in-picture, but Manui's got threats all around him. The walls are closing in for Fear as their carries are trying to get out of this setup. Cloud9 did such a good job, a master class in causing chaos. Parry will get lost, though.
That's big.
That is huge for Fear. Without loss, I don't know if Cloud9 can end the game. Diplex still has a wave to work with down here. Parry, fine time. I don't think he's getting out. Faisal can stop the game end from Cloud9. Parry buying even more time. Okay, I see you. Glacial Prison's going to be coming off cooldown in probably 25 seconds, I'd reckon, from Tomio. He's chasing down Perry. Divine Sunder heals. Perry's trying his best to get out of here. Tomio says, all right, wait for my ultimate to come up. I will continue the chase or just get the kill by myself anyway here.
Wait,
oh, okay.
He doesn't have him.
How is this still
Divine
going?
Sunder, baby. He's Wukong.
Goodness,
he's out. Perry.
He's out.
The Great Escape. It is Soul Point. Go over to C9 and Kangas. This game's not over, baby. It's getting crazier.
This has been such an entertaining game of League of Legends. Let's get a replay here because I saw this happening right as we jumped up to the top side. Okay, so Manui has to use the ultimate and flash.
Yeah, so they both flashed. He was going for the one shot on the rip for Lost, but Lost flashed out of it. And then Manui, he falls on the back half here. But this fight, I mean, this is all Perry. Perry's traded himself out for Lost twice now, Kangas. He did lose his GA for this, but I think he saves the game with that play. If they have Lost, he's able to heal off the wave. He's the one that's going to rip through these turrets. The fact that Perry kills him and then somehow gets out is crazy.
Yeah, and Manui, I don't know if he was window shopping there. You were backing as Tomio was coming around the bend. Had vision. Might have been able to run a little further, but unlikely to get away. But now back to life. Fear are setting up around the Baron. A minute and 20 seconds for this to come up.
Diplex is full build now. This Silas is so scary. Also, we do have a stopwatch for Manui.
That's
huge. Gonna have to look out for that one. But still, the carries of C9, they are ahead on the board. A lot of it's just gonna have to be. And Perry has honestly been a hero on this Wukong this game, Kangas.
GA was popped. So we'll not have that for this next time. But he has been fearless so far.
Nice.
I know it's ironic because their name
All right,
is
yeah,
Fear.
that's bad. That's what I expect out of Mad Magical. I'm just gonna say, you know.
Mean to. It's just the truth. You know, he's playing without any fear. Which I mean,
I think he's playing with fear.
He's playing with Faisal.
He's been playing with his team.
Yeah.
I don't
know how to get out of this one. He's playing good, okay, Cubby?
I would agree with that.
Is playing like he is the main character of this team, and I gotta say, so far in this game too, that's been true.
So stopwatch wasn't used by Manui, but it was turned into a Guardian Angel. So if Manui does touch down or gets blown up early, we'll have that second life that is rather valuable on the Xayah. But at the moment,
which one I value more actually, because he also picked up a control ward, but I don't know if it's time for that conversation.
You can see C9 how much prio they have on both these side lanes as Diplex is kind of waiting for a couple members to show before he goes for this one. Diplex is very deep though. He might have to play for this gate. And if he does, Fear's here. So this is a little bit funky here for Diplex.
Okay, he's got the backup of Fake God, so he just says, I'll link up with my top laner. And
they could hit the Baron. I think Lost is hitting the Baron right now. Yeah. So they're going to try and pull the Baron.
Okay, Cloud9 want to go for the end. Faisal's just got to hold the line while the rest of Fear goes and blows up the carry. Lost in a lot of trouble. Perry says, remember who the main character of this game is. Picks up the enemy 80 carry. Teleport back. And body blocked by Perry, stopping the Glacial Prison. Fear defend the base and pick up the enemy 80 carry. Manui stuck around. Trevor stuck around. Zeyzal and Tomio are in trouble.
Hit the Baron. If you hit the Baron, you always get TPs out. Yeah, you always get TPs out. So I think you just got to hit the Baron. It's a Perry Legacy game, man. We have TPs coming in.
They're committing to it. This could be huge for Diplex. He's coming in. That's also a teleport from Fake God. Focusing down the Baron. Manui's got flash. He's got everything, but he's stunned into the wall! And Diplex just blows him up into the Guardian Angel. Waits for him to come back up. Featherstorm pulled. Maybe he's got the recall. Diplex can do it. No, Manui flashes the wall. He can reposition in the pit. Diplex is doing so much damage. Tomio's still alive. Diplex is pulled back in. Shochi's there. That's huge. Shut down to Faisal. Diplex out of the fight. And Fear might just be doing it.
It takes 3 Barons, but Fear finally gets one for themselves. And Manui, man, who are you? This is not the player that I saw in tryouts this offseason. This is a different marksman. He played that fight so well. The fact that he lives now on the Xayah, they can actually play for this soul. They have Baron to set off. It's advantage Fear.
absolutely massive play as Cloud9 Challengers spent everything from Diplex and Fake God to go for the game edge. Faisal held the line. He held the door, baby.
Perry.
He did not let them in.
It's a Perry legacy game.
Got the fight at Baron. Huge stuff.
It's actually a Perry legacy game, man. The fact that he stuffed that Glacial Prison to make sure that they were able to actually answer the base defense. This game has been wild to start off our Monday. Oh my god, a second look before we have this. Perry.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, he even clones it. Perry legacy game, man. You've been crazy. Let's see if you can put the final touches on that. That's after he solo killed Lost, by the way, as the Wukong. As we're going to see this one roll out, but honestly, let's just go to live. Maybe we can catch this replay later or after the game. Who knows? This game has been bonkers.
Yeah,
ballistic.
we need to see what's going on right now. It looks like a fight's about to break out. Flash engage from Trevor.
Okay.
Throws out. Oh, it doesn't actually throw out the ultimate. Oh, are they getting re-engaged on? Could just be a front to back. Tomio taking up a lot of the shots. Fake got pulled in. He's about to hit Mega. This could be a big engage. Tomio's down.
Got him. Really well played.
And that's just no health bars traded. Fear just got that for free.
That's Smite. That's Smite down. So now they get to play the soul. Fake God doesn't have Mega to C9 even choosing tasks.
Diplex on a big flank. He's not spotted.
No, they got it.
Find it.
That's huge.
Soul.
It's a 4-dragon Hextech Soul 2, Kangas. That's massive.
That is absurd.
I mean that honestly is the game. Like, that scaling advantage now going out the wayside for C9. It's all Fear now because this Hextech Soul is going to be hitting so hard. They have so many ways to apply it. As now they're blitzing down mid. It's at least mid inhibitor falling. They have a bot wave set up.
If Faisal can hit a big ult here, this is game. They have 20 seconds on Tomio. There it is. Pulls in Zazel, but he gets out just fine. They're still just focusing on the turret, so they might even just have the game with this one cannon minion here. 9 seconds on Tomio. Lower health bars on Fear. They might need to play this a little slower. You don't want to trade too much right now because once Tomio's up, he will have Glacial Prison. He can look for a big engage. Diplex has the Nautilus ultimate. This could be the re-engage from Cloud9.
Oh boy.
Zazel's looking for the flank here. Watch Manui. No flash. Has the Feather Storm. Re-engage from Trevor. They go forward. Zazel looks to Manui. Knocked up. Fake got down. And Fear are doing it. Cloud9 losing their damage, losing their members, and losing this game. Cincinnati Fear will not be disrespected. The provisional team will take down the #1 team in the league.
Oh my god, Cincinnati Fear, man. This has been a crazy split. And coming into the split, teams were like, hey, you know what? We think Wildcard could be good. You know, this core, they made it to top 5, top 6 of PG last summer. No one thought that this would be the Cincinnati Fear we saw. They just took our top team to the brink. They split games with them. They played them competitively every single part of both of those games. The fact that we have a provisional team in the league doing this is wild. This is not a team we're worried about, even thinking about promotion or relegation for. This is a team where we're like, how far is this team going to go in the bracket stage of spring?
This is a team, like, realistically, what's the average time it's going to take for these players to make LCS? At this point, like, whew.
I mean, what's the average time for these players to just get picked up by a Challengers roster? Like, I mean, they're doing great with Fear, no offense, but, like, there are more resources for these players elsewhere. They're playing so good, and I mean, it's top to bottom, but I gotta praise Perry. He was insane that game, and also Manui going up against Lost and Zazel. Manui and Trevor continue to prove they're this bot lane that they've improved so much. I've always thought pretty highly of Trevor, but Manui is a player, man. What this guy is this year compared to what we saw last year, totally different. He's gotten so much better, taking full advantage of this opportunity. Huge props to him and Fear, who continue to prove they're a team to look out for here in NACL.
5 high elo players got together and said, we're making a team for NACL, and this is the roster that they brought. This is now what we can expect from them going forward. Well played to Cincinnati Fear. We're going to send it to a short break before we're back with an interview from one of the winning members from Fear to talk about this monumental win after this.
Hello, hello. Welcome back into the LCS Challengers League. We are here with the top laner of Cincinnati Fear after they split the series with Cloud9 Challengers, the #1 team in the Challengers League. Faisal, how does it feel after that bloody Game 2 victory?
I mean, it feels insane. Like, I don't think anyone had us beating that team, so going 1-1. I mean, 2-0 felt possible, which is also a pretty good feeling. It felt really good, and I felt really excited after we won.
You're right. I didn't have you at, splitting the series. I did have you at 2-0 in my predictions going into the day. So, I was wrong a little bit there. I thought you guys had that. Game 1, you did really well in the beginning parts of the game. But what would you say really were the follies that you had and why you weren't able to pick up that first game?
So personally, like in my lane, it was okay. I was like slightly trolling a bit. Like I took like 5 tower shots for fun. But it was okay, but I kind of just looked at the enemy timer, so I died, which is troll. But honestly, in the game, we were ahead, I think, but we just disrespected the enemy timers and didn't play on ours. So they got a really big lead, and we didn't get to do much.
But, I just wanted to get through the game 1. We had to talk about it a little bit because, got to talk about both games. The more important one is game 2 because that game was so much fun. I wasn't casting it, but I was watching, and even though normally I sit down while I'm hosting and stuff, I was out of my seat, jumping around, going crazy. How was the room for everyone, all of you guys, after picking up that win?
So after picking up that win, this was like the first time I actually was excited for winning. Like, I was actually screaming. I was ecstatic because that game was pretty stressful. I think everyone felt it too. So like when we won, I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was just screaming. My performance coach came in. We all hugged. It was fun. We all were just screaming and yelling out of excitement.
I'm glad to hear that. You guys gonna celebrate at all after that? Are you gonna go out, maybe get some dinner, or maybe hit the gym like how it was last time I saw you guys?
I mean, dinner, it depends on Cade, because he's kind of strict about us eating out sometimes, but
okay.
I mean, the gym is, I enjoy it. It's like a fun time for me, so that's just a given. I'll go every day for the gym.
Well, I Cade up there with the thumbs up. I see that. I like that. I like that. All right, so looking at, you guys taking down the #1 team. Going into the season, we have to talk about how a lot of people did not put you at the top of the standings. So what do you have to say to everyone who doubted you guys going in, now that you are clearly one of the best, if not the best, provisional team we have here in the Challengers League, as well as one of the best teams in general?
I don't have much to say. I mean, personally, I always thought I was good, and everyone was not very good. So, I mean, me playing against them personally, like, I thought I could easily match up against them, and it's been showing as well. Like, also, I've always thought playing in amateur that Academy was like a different league, but it kind of feels like the same. Just like everyone is more disciplined in how they play and how they practice, so there's not really much of a difference. But yeah, I feel disrespected that people have rated me low, but it's understandable because I've never played. I'm a rookie. Our team's like kind of rookie players, so yeah, I think it's just understandable.
Understandable, but no longer can that be the case. You guys clearly are one of the best teams. What do you think gives you that edge over a lot of the teams? Is it the fact that you guys just have a really good camaraderie?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, we just play the game and enjoy it. But like on match days, we like are always in sync. We do plays together, even if they don't work out, but we're just completely on sync. I don't know what it is. I've never played with any of these players like as a whole for long, so I don't know. We just sync up. Maybe it's the house or something. Got the house buff.
The house buff, I like it. You guys just all living together, got the house buff. And you guys are doing a great job. I can't sing the praises more than I already have of Cincinnati Fear. So, Faisal, I'm going to give you this opportunity. Any shout-outs you want to give to any fans, friends, anybody out there?
Yeah, shout out to my teammates. They've been smurfing, even though scrims are kind of not the best sometimes, but it's fine. Scrims are useless. I mean, shout out my performance coach, Cade. He takes me to the gym every day. It's really fun. Like, I love going to the gym now because of him. And shout out my friends and family. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, Faisal, thank you so much. Congratulations on taking that victory over our #1 team in the Challengers League and getting yourself higher in the standings. All of Cincinnati Fear, you should all be very proud of yourselves. We'll see more of you guys next week. But for now, I'm going to toss to a break. And when we come back, we'll get ready for our second series of the day between FlyQuest Challengers and Team Liquid Honda Challengers. Don't go anywhere.